Hey there, welcome back to my channel. You are in store for a part 2 of my eyeshadow collection and decluttering video. Here is the box that I have with all types of eyeshadows, palettes, loose pigments, liquids, super shocks, all of those. We're going to go through them today and I'm going to declutter them. If you have missed part 1 of my decluttering series, which is eyeshadows as well, that was uploaded last Friday, I will link it in the cards up above and the description box down below. You can check it out after you check out this video. All right, let's get started. This is one of my newer eyeshadow palettes from Lauren Geller, New York. This is the Central Park Face, Eye, and Cheek palette. I received this, I think it was in an Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. I love the packaging on this one. And I've only used it a few times, and I really was impressed with the eyeshadow pigments, as well as the blendability, that is a hard word to say, as well as the blendability and color payout, long weariness of these. This bronzer, no, see, it's not a bronzer. This is supposed to be a highlighter, but for me, I use it as kind of like a bronzer blush topper duo. These are a little too dark for me, so I really have to sheer them out. But so far I am liking these shades, so I am going to keep this one. All right, so we have Moods from Laura Sanchez. This is another one that I received, I think last summer in a subscription box. I did forget to say in today's intro, I mentioned it in my last video's intro, a lot of these eyeshadow palettes did come to me in subscription boxes. So, but anyway, here's the packaging for this one. I think that this is such a cool little drawing. I would love to have a framed picture of this in my place. And this was another eye and cheek palette. These both of these highlighters really did not work that great for me for my skin tone. This one was a little too light, although this one is a holographic, and then this one was a little too on the like ashy side for me. As you can see, I really dug into this purple. I used this one a lot around Halloween time whenever I was filming Halloween videos, like Halloween tutorial videos, but other than that, this one did not get all that much use, just because these are not colors that I really reach for on a daily basis, so I am going to be passing this one along. And so next we have from Alamar Cosmetics. It's like almost a little book. We have the Reina del Caribe. I probably have mispronounced that. I am very sorry. But this is their eyeshadow palette, volume 1, and these eyeshadows are inspired by the colors of Cuba, and I really do love this palette. I have unfortunately not gotten a lot of use out of it lately. This is one of the older palettes in my collection, and it kind of got put to the bottom. The only thing that I do have to say that I really don't love about this eyeshadow palette is that the only really neutral shade is a shimmer shade. And I think that that's why this palette does get pushed to the bottom of my collection so often, is because these are big, bold, bright, beautiful pigmented colors, and these are mattes, and these are shimmers. And I do like to combine eyeshadow palettes if I have to from time to time, but whenever I'm like in a hurry, grab and go an eyeshadow palette, I tend to grab one that has things that I can use like 100% completely, and that is probably the reason, because there is no matte neutral shade, that's probably one of the reasons that I do not grab this one as often. But I do still like the colors. Like I said, it's older, so I haven't used it in a while. I am looking to see, you know, is it an older makeup product? Is it still good? Is not really like going by like expiration dates, but just is the formula still the same? And yeah, that formula has not changed, so I am going to keep this one. Okay, next we have Beauty Bakery's Proof is in the Puddin' eyeshadow palette. This one is such a cute themed eyeshadow palette. The only thing that could have been cuter is if it would actually be scented like pudding, which it is not, unfortunately. But it is a neutral eyeshadow palette. It has some neutral mattes, like a few neutral mattes, and then some shimmers. This one I really do enjoy. Here's the thing with this eyeshadow palette. I like the shades, I like the formula, but I have other like neutral eyeshadow palettes that I do use more often. And I do know somebody who has had an eye on this palette, so I think I am going to pass it along to her. Oh, I forgot about this eyeshadow palette. I received this in a BoxyCharm, but did not unbox that BoxyCharm on the channel because I was moving and just didn't have the time to unbox with you. But this is from Ace Beauty, Ace Beaute, however you would pronounce this, but this is Vintage Dawn. This packaging is beautiful, as well as like the actual colors in this palette. It does sort of remind me of like those old Hollywood colors, like red carpet colors. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of use out of this gold. Yeah, I'm going to keep these. Wow, we are not having that great of a track record with the actual decluttering portion so far. Maybe whenever I get to things that are not in palettes, we will. But yeah, so going to keep this, going to try to get more use out of it, because I really have only used Serengeti, this gold. I assume I used Daybreak with it. And the others, it just looks like I have swatched. So yeah, I will definitely try to get more use out of this palette. So these two palettes were in the bucket. I do want to say that I'm not decluttering them today. I will be talking about them in an upcoming video, however. That video is going to be decluttering like my bronzers, blushes, all of that, going through that collection. So if you want to see that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you will not miss that upload. But these are both face palettes. So they were in just because of the big packaging in here. We'll really not be going into them in today's video. We'll take a deep dive into them in a later video together. I actually decluttered Ultimate Edit in Ash in my last video, but this is Ultimate Edit in Phoenix. And I love this palette. This palette is really quite blendable. These three shades are actually my favorite in it. I do say they're quite blendable. To be honest, I have not tried that red. Reds are typically really hard to blend, but everything else works really well as far as a really inexpensive but still pigmented eyeshadow palette. I would definitely recommend this one. Okay, so next we have Maybelline New York's the Blushed Nudes. They have a lot of different The Nudes series. I think they're supposed to be dupes for the Naked, like the Urban Decay Naked palette. I have really only tried this one, the Blush Nudes one, and this has been definitely a hit for me. This is actually the second time that I have repurchased this palette. Previous times I've completely used it through. If I did not have a YouTube channel and I was just sort of going off of like what I wear every single day, this would 100% be in that collection. I just really love this palette, so of course I'm going to be keeping it. For the longest time, this was my pride and joy. This was the first ABH Norvina collection collab big palette thing. This was their Pro Pigment palette volume 1. It is the only one, I don't even know how I'm going to shoot this one. There you go. It is the only one that made me stop what I was doing and be like, yes, I need this, and buy it on launch day. I have used this palette to do like regular makeup tutorials, Halloween makeup tutorials, as well as there were 2 months that I was like using this palette exclusively. Did not run out of looks. And also, besides the shimmer shades, this palette's not showing all that much wear, and I've used the living hell out of it. So love it. Definitely keeping this one. This is an eyeshadow palette from Aether Beauty. It is their Summer Solstice palette, and I love this one. I am going to be keeping this one. Like I mentioned, one of their other palettes, the Gemstone Crystal Grid palette that I did keep in my first decluttering video, but I did fail to kind of tell you guys about the brand. This is a zero waste beauty brand, Aether Beauty. They have eyeshadows as well as highlighters and face palettes. Every single thing is 100% vegan and cruelty free. It's 100% clean beauty, and every single bit and bob is recyclable. So this is what this palette looks like. I definitely love this palette. I use this palette, this palette, and they're so similar, right? These two palettes are actually the two palettes that I get the most use out of on a day-to-day basis, but I love this palette. If you have not checked out Aether Beauty, I highly recommend that you do check it out. You can buy Aether Beauty on their own website or through Sephora. Winter Beauties, Life is a Drag, or Life's a Drag, I guess you could say. This is quite a reflective, really fun. I think these are Manny's eyes. This is a fun eyeshadow palette. I would definitely not have purchased this for myself. Nothing against Lunar Beauty, nothing against these shades, but simply because I received this in a subscription box this summer, and I already pretty much have these shades, with the exception of maybe like Campy. I have these shades in some other form, not speaking ill of this palette in any way, but just I don't really feel the need to keep it simply because I could almost duplicate nearly every single shade. So sorry, Life's a Drag, you are being decluttered. All right, and we come to the last eyeshadow palette. This is my little Polly Pocket baby from Kiko Milano's Green Me line. This is Cool Spice I'm not even sure if they still sell this. They may still sell this. I don't know. This was reviewed in my first YouTube video. So let me give you a little more of a comprehensive review of this. I actually love this eyeshadow palette. I love that, like, it looks like Polly Pockets from the 90s. And I love that about it. I love that it is such hard packaging. You can throw it in a bag if you need, and it will not break. And I love the compactness of it. The pans are quite on the smaller side, but I don't even think I mean, I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong, but I don't even think this is like $20, or maybe it's 20. It's somewhere, whatever it is. I remember thinking like, oh, these are small, but this wasn't like a stupidly expensive eyeshadow palette. All of these shades do work really, really well. The middle ones I had in my first review of them, I said that they were not really that pigmented, I guess. Someone who watched that first review recommended not using a brush with them and instead going in and using your fingertips. And they were right. That really did make them a lot more pigmented. I enjoy this one, and I think even if I did not really like it and I still didn't use it day to day, I'm sort of a sentimental person, so I think that even if I wasn't still using this, I would keep it just because, like, this was my first video, so it sort of holds a place in my heart. All right, and so now we have Rando eyeshadow. So this is from Model & Co, and this is an eye light. So this is a liquid black eyeshadow with glitter in it, and I actually hated this. This is in the shade Granite, by the way, but I hated it because it has glitter in it. And while I am no prude when it comes to glitter, no, this just did not look good on me. It mainly just looked like glitter oil slick on my eyelid. So definitely getting rid of this. I guess we'll stick with that theme. These are both liquid eyeshadows as well. So this one is from Glossier. This is Fawn, that's the shade, and this is their Lid Star. One of their few eye products, and it has a doe foot applicator like so. I do wear this product from time to time. It is an extremely sheer product. So all of Glossier's makeup is pretty much like this, but if you are looking for a really quick application and a there but not really there sort of look, Lid Stars, and specifically this Lid Star in Fawn, would be perfect for you. I am keeping this one because this shade specifically is really good for whenever I am running late and I just have to like pop on a bit of color. So this is Glow from Miss A's website. I think it is AOA Studio. I'm not exactly sure, but this is their liquid eyeshadow. This is in the shade Melt, and same type of applicator, although this one is much darker than the previous one. I'll keep this one as well. It's the newer one in my collection, and I feel like I haven't really gotten that much time to play with it. All right, so I have 3 stick eyeshadows. This is from NYX Cosmetics, and this is their Jumbo Eye Pencil. This is in the shade of Iced Mocha. If I was not on a no-buy for the rest of 2020, I would probably go out and buy more colors in this actual line. So I will be keeping this one, as well as I will be keeping this one. This one is from Thrive Cosmetics. This is an eye brightener in Stella. So an eye brightener in Stella. This has multiple uses. I have used this one in my inner corner. I have used it on my lower lash line. I've used it up in my arch underneath my eyebrow. And then I've also just used it on the entire lid or parts and bits of the lid. I've even used it as a highlighter, like on my face and on the tip of my nose. Beautiful, beautiful shade, really light champagne-y shade, no glitter at all, just a bit of like luminosity. And I'm not exactly sure how they get the shimmer because there's, like I said, there is no glitter in it. But yeah, definitely going to be keeping this one, and definitely do recommend this one. As you probably saw, it's a twisty one. I love pencils that twist up and down that you don't need to find a sharpener. All right, and last is from Fenty Beauty. So this is their Match Sticks, and I got mine in the shade of Unicorn. And I got this with the Fenty Beauty and BoxyCharm collab, which I loved everything, or let me say most everything in that collab. Mine is in a purple shade. I know that some people got theirs in a much more wearable shade. So Match Sticks are one of those sort of like multi-purpose sticks that can be used as highlighter and or on your eyes. And since mine is purple and I don't feel like having purple highlighter, I just will use this as an eyeshadow every so often. And I do find that this is definitely like, it's a sheer eyeshadow. It is definitely something that needs to be built up. I'm sure because it's that way because it's formulated to be first like a highlighter. But anyway, I do like this shade. So for the time being, I am going to keep this. So we have another eyeshadow. It's, I guess, a mini like trio palette from Model Co. Not a fan of Model Co.'s makeup, if I'm going to be honest, and it is forever in subscription boxes. This is their metallic eyeshadow trio in Saint Tropez, and that's what it is. It's just an eyeshadow trio that is completely metallic. It does not look all that great on me, and as the day goes on and like the humidity gets to it, it just looks like a big old sweaty mess on my eyelids, so I'm going to declutter this. Pixie by Petra. They have like full eyeshadow palettes, but this is a small duo. This is their Mesmerizing Mineral Duo in Mineral Bronze. Beautiful shades, just not beautiful on me, so I know exactly who would like these shades, so I'm going to pass this one along. We have a 4 set from Naked Cosmetics. They actually like all stack together, but these are shimmers, like loose shimmers. I use them both as eyeshadows and as highlighters. However, I am not going to be keeping all of them for that reason. All right, so since we are doing a collection slash declutter, I've opened them up just so you can see them. So this shade, when I opened it up, it had a funky smell to it. So I'm going to declutter this one. I don't use this shade all that often just because I find it's a darker one. It is a darker glitter and there's a lot of mess I find and a lot of fallout with this particular shade, like fallout throughout the day. So I will get rid of this one. For the time being, I will keep both of these. I really don't need both of them because they are so similar. This one is a little more gold. So this is an eyeshadow from Tarte. It is Tarte's, what is it called? Chrome Paints. And this is in the shade Martini. I remember that I was so excited whenever I received this in a box and then promptly forgot about it because it got to the bottom of my makeup bin, and this is why I'm glad that I'm going through my collection with you, and so glad that you're coming along for the journey with me. But now I'm excited again. I'm going to kind of keep this on my vanity area. That way I can try to remember to use it. So I'll keep it for now. And then finally we have the ColourPop Super Shocks that I got last summer and I was so thrilled about and used. As you can see, I used a bunch, but just have not because I don't wear yellows all that often. So I have Sixth Sense. All right, and that one is ultra metallic. If you are new to the ColourPop's Super Shock formula, it's like a putty formula. We have Rainbow Connection, which is an ultra glitter. Heat, which is a satin. And then Floating, which is another ultra glitter. I am not going to keep all of these. They came in a 4-pack, by the way. That is why I would not have gone out on my own will and purchased individually 4 yellow eyeshadows. But they came in a 4-pack. I am going to get rid of Floating. See, I swatched it for you and it is pretty much just glitter. It just has a hint of color. So don't really need that. So I will get rid of that one. I do use the Satin Heat quite a bit, or I did, let me say, use Heat quite a bit. So I'm going to keep this one to see if I can put it back into my rotations. Sixth Sense, that's a really hard word for me to say. This shade I'm going to get rid of just simply because I have a lot of golds like this. However, Rainbow Connection, not only do I not really have golds in this particular shade range, but Rainbow Connection from the Muppets, like Kermit singing Rainbow Connections, is one of my all-time favorite songs. So I'm going to keep Rainbow Connection just because it makes me smile. I'm going to backtrack with you guys. These 2 from Naked Cosmetics that I said that I was going to keep, I am not. I have decided that thinking back on my entire collection, I don't need loose glitters really and truly because I have enough pressed glitters. So goodbye. So back on track, this is what I am keeping. I feel like this video and last video combined, I have kept far too much. I don't think I was cutthroat enough. Maybe in upcoming videos, maybe I'll redo this at the end of 2020. I don't know, but yeah, as of now, I'm keeping quite a bit of my collection. So it's going to be a lot less than I had before, but still a pretty big collection. I am going to be doing a video, by the way, coming up of if I did not have my own YouTube channel and I did not do makeup, what my makeup collection would look like. So if you are interested in something like that, definitely hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will be notified. All right, so that is it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I went through my eyeshadow collection and decluttered just a little bit of it. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you in another video. Bye.